Hoot! Did you hear that? That's the sound of the night coming alive, and it means it's time for a story. Hello there, little ones. Gather close to the warm campfire where the shadows dance and the flames flicker gently. The moon is bright tonight, and the stars are twinkling like tiny diamonds scattered across a velvet sky. It's the perfect night for a tale. My name is Professor Hoot, and I have a story for you, a story filled with dreams, courage, and a little bit of magic. It's about a little hedgehog named Rocco, who lived in a cozy house, but longed for adventure beyond his window. Rocco had everything he needed: delicious food, a warm bed, and a loving family who cared for him deeply. But he felt trapped, as if something was missing. He watched the birds and squirrels outside, wishing he could join them in their games and adventures beneath the open sky. Deep inside, Rocco felt a rhythm in his feet and a beat in his heart, as if the world was calling out to him. He dreamed of something more, something magical, of forests filled with music and friends he hadn't met yet. This is the story of how Rocco followed the music inside him and discovered a joy bigger than he ever imagined, a joy that changed his world forever. It all began on a quiet night, just like this one, when the world seemed full of possibilities. In a small house by a big green park, Rocco was making a big plan, one that would take him far beyond his doorstep. He was ready for something new, his eyes shining with excitement and curiosity. With a brave heart and a hopeful spirit, Rocco's journey was about to start, and he didn't know what wonders awaited him. The world was waiting for him, full of surprises, new friends, and adventures just around the corner. Let's begin our tale together, under the stars. Rocco was a curious little hedgehog who lived in a spacious cage in Sam's cozy room, surrounded by soft blankets and gentle moonlight streaming through the window. Sam, a gentle and kind-hearted boy, always made sure Rocco was safe, fed and loved. He would spend hours talking to Rocco, telling him stories and gently stroking his quills. But even with all this care, Rocco often gazed out from his cage, watching Sam play in the garden and dreaming of what it would be like to run free under the open sky. Then, one quiet night, something magical happened. Sam, tired from a long day, forgot to close the cage door after saying goodnight. Rocco waited patiently until the house was silent, his tiny heart thumping with anticipation. Gathering his courage, he nudged the door open with his nose. The cool night breeze tickled his whiskers as he stepped onto the bedroom floor for the very first time, following the gentle draft that led toward the garden. Outside, the world was alive with new scents, fresh flowers, damp earth, and the sweet promise of freedom he had always imagined. Rocco scurried onto the dewy grass, feeling the cool blades beneath his paws and the thrill of adventure in his chest. Everything felt new and exciting. He paused for a moment, glancing back at the warm glow of his old home. There was a twinge of sadness, but mostly he felt a rush of excitement for what lay ahead. Standing tall on the grass, Rocco realized he was no longer just a pet in a cage. He was an explorer, ready to discover the world beyond his bedroom. With a determined heart, he turned toward the park, eager to see what mysteries and wonders the night would bring. Each brave step he took made him feel stronger and more confident, as if the world was cheering him on. The garden seemed endless, filled with shadows and moonbeams, but Rocco was ready to explore every corner. He didn't know exactly where he was going, but he knew that every step would be a new adventure full of surprises and excitement. The empty cage in Sam's room was a reminder of the life he'd left behind, but Rocco felt no fear, only hope and curiosity. Now, he was Rocco the adventurer, ready to face the unknown and make memories under the stars. And so, with the moon lighting his path, Rocco's journey into the great wide world had just begun. As Rocco explored the park, he met animals with amazing talents. Squeaky the squirrel was an artist, arranging leaves and pebbles into beautiful patterns. "Art makes me happy," Squeaky said, adding a feather to his masterpiece. Rocco moved on and heard music. Rosie the robin was composing a new song. "Singing makes my heart soar," Rosie chirped. At the pond, Ferdinand the Frog recited poetry to the moon's reflection. "Finding the right words makes me happy," Ferdinand explained. Rocco realized every animal had a special hobby: art, music, poetry. He wondered what his own special thing could be. He felt a little sad, unsure of his own talent, but he kept searching, hoping to find what made him truly happy. Everyone he met glowed with joy from their passions. Rocco wanted to feel that too. He said goodbye to his new friends and continued on. The park was full of inspiration. Rocco's heart beat with hope. He was determined to find his own joy. His adventure was just beginning. One evening, Rocco heard music from a bright community hall. He peeked through a window and saw people dancing, spinning, swaying, laughing. Rocco was mesmerized. The music pulsed through him, making his feet tap. He tried to copy the dancers, wiggling and spinning in the grass. He fell over but got up, grinning. This was the feeling he'd been searching for. Pure joy. Rocco watched for hours, learning every move he could. When the music stopped, he knew he'd found his passion. Dancing made him feel alive. He twirled under mushrooms and hopped over twigs, practicing his new moves. For the first time, Rocco felt truly happy. He was Rocco the dancing hedgehog. The world was his dance floor. He couldn't wait to learn more. His heart was light, his spirit free. Rocco had found his special thing. Rocco practiced dancing every day, inspired by the world around him. He copied the twirling leaves, the zigzagging bees and the gliding swan. Each day he tried a new style: ballet, tap, salsa. Sometimes he tumbled, but he always got back up, laughing. Other animals noticed his joy and joined in. Rabbits taught him to hop, frogs showed him slides, and together they shared new moves. Dancing was even better with friends. Rocco loved breakdancing most, spinning and freezing in cool poses. He practiced in secret, determined to master every move. His friends cheered him on. Rocco's confidence grew with every step. He knew his dancing would take him far. The park was alive with music and laughter. Rocco was ready for anything. One night, Rocco heard a thumping beat deep in the woods. He followed the sound to a forest disco, fireflies flashing, animals dancing on a mushroom floor. A beetle DJ spun a leaf and the whole forest moved to the rhythm. Rocco joined in, shy at first, then bursting with confidence. His practice moves wowed the crowd. "Look at that hedgehog go," whispered a mouse. Rocco danced with otters, joined a conga line with weasels and made new friends. Then he saw her, Maria, a graceful hedgehog dancing under lantern bugs. She spun and hopped with elegance. Rocco's heart skipped a beat. He wanted to dance with her. He gathered his courage. Tonight he would show her his best moves. The disco was alive with excitement. Rocco was ready for his next big moment. Just as Rocco approached Maria, a hush fell over the crowd. Rizzo the rat, the self-proclaimed dance king, challenged Rocco to a dance-off. "If you want to impress Maria, you'll have to beat me," Rizzo sneered. The crowd buzzed with excitement. Maria gave Rocco an encouraging nod. Rocco's nerves faded, replaced by determination. He accepted the challenge. 4 rounds, winner takes all. The beetle DJ dropped a beat, and the crowd formed a circle. Rizzo smirked, sure of his victory. But Rocco was ready. He remembered everything he'd learned from his friends and the world around him. This was his chance to shine. The dance-off began. The crowd cheered, eager to see who would win. Rocco focused on the music, his heart pounding. He was dancing for more than Maria. He was dancing for himself. The great forest dance-off had begun. The first round, simple and smooth. The moon hung high above the clearing, casting a silver glow over the eager crowd. Tension buzzed in the air as the 2 rivals faced off, each determined to claim the title. Rizzo slid and shuffled, his paws quick and nimble, but Rocco glided with grace, feeling the music deep in his bones. Every step seemed effortless, as if he was born to dance beneath the stars. The crowd cheered for Rocco, their excitement echoing through the trees. Next, fast footwork. Rizzo's feet blurred in a frenzy, but Rocco's quick hops and shuffles amazed everyone. He moved with a confidence that left the audience breathless. Another win for Rocco. Third round, freestyle. Rizzo's moves grew sloppy with anger, his frustration showing as he tried to outdo his rival. Rocco imitated his friends, otter slides, capturing the playful spirit of the forest. He added rabbit jumps and robin wing flutters, blending each animal's style into his own. The crowd loved it, clapping and stomping in delight. Final round, the finisher. Rizzo tried a daring spin, but lost his balance and tumbled to the ground. The crowd giggled, their laughter filling the night. Rocco took a deep breath, steadying himself as the music swelled. He knew this was his moment. He spun on his prickles, dazzling everyone with a dramatic breakdance move, then froze in a perfect pose as the music stopped, bathed in moonlight. Silence, then a roar of cheers erupted. Rocco had won. The animals stomped and chanted, their voices ringing out in celebration. The forest erupted in celebration. Rizzo slunk away defeated, his dreams dashed for now. Rocco was lifted high by his friends, their cheers echoing through the night. He had proven himself not just to Maria, but to everyone who had ever doubted him. Maria smiled at him, her eyes shining with pride and admiration. Rocco's heart soared with happiness. He had found his place among his friends, his heart finally at peace. The dance floor was his stage, and the night belonged to him. The animals chanted his name, their voices rising in joyful unison. Rocco was the new dance champion, crowned beneath the glowing moon. He had followed his dream and triumphed, inspiring everyone around him. The night sparkled with joy, and Rocco's story would be told for generations to come. Rizzo disappeared, but the celebration continued. Rocco was the hero of the night. Maria approached, her eyes bright. "You dance with your whole heart," she said. Rocco blushed. "You move like a poem," he replied. "Would you like to dance with me?" Maria asked. The Beatle DJ played a slow song. Rocco and Maria danced together, perfectly in sync. They didn't need words. Their movements said everything. Under the fireflies they spun and twirled, lost in the music. Rocco knew he was no longer lonely. He had found his joy and a friend to share it with. From that night on, Rocco and Maria were inseparable. They became the forest's most famous dancing duo. Together they explored, learned and taught others to dance. Rocco had found friendship, passion and a partner for every step, and they danced happily ever after.